Matt, this is one of the last interviews you'll give as a member of the New England Revolution. You're obviously about to start a really exciting new journey with Arsenal. So as you kind of look back on the last 7 years, reminisce a little bit, I thought this would be a fitting place to chat with you for the last time, not only on the field at Gillette, but specifically in this spot where March 10th, 2018, on that line, you endeared yourself to the Revolution faithful, saving a penalty in your home debut. So as you've probably had a little bit of a chance to think back over the course of the past 7 years, what are kind of the emotions that are coursing through your veins as you're ending this journey, but knowing that there's another exciting journey just about to begin?
Yeah, it's definitely a weird time because you're feeling all this sentiment because you're leaving a huge part of your past, a huge part of your life, really, behind for the short-term future, and but also really excited about what's to come. So it's a very interesting limbo to sort of be dealing with. But yeah, being here and thinking about that moment, that was probably one of the first times playing a soccer game where I felt such intensity and passion, and I remember the celebration and just screaming, and I think that was one of the first times that I really felt that when I was playing soccer, and the way the fans cheered for me in that moment after the game, it was all really, really special to me, and it's like one of those core memories that I can just replay in my head anytime.
It's crazy because there are times where it feels like that moment was a decade ago. There's also times when it feels like it was 10 days ago, but when you think back to that 23-year-old kid who in that moment reacted the way that you did, had that celebration that you mentioned, you're 27 now, about to turn 28. Like, how have you changed since then, if at all? Are you still that same guy that reacted that way?
Yeah, I'm still the same guy. I think generally I'll try to keep it a little more chill nowadays, but I think that you saw literally a kid's passion just be ignited. There was a time in my career earlier on where I didn't know if this was really for me. And having the opportunities that I've had now, I can't imagine my life any other way. But in that moment, you literally saw somebody just realize how much something meant to them, literally in that moment. You saw the way his teammates embraced him, and for the first time felt like a real significant part of the locker room, significant part of the organization. And I think that's the beauty of sports, and the beauty of that moment specifically is like so many things were like born right then and there for me, and I felt like I was really a part of this team.
You mentioned those core memories. That's obviously one of them. As you've kind of thought back through some of those, are there any other moments that have kind of stood out to you that you've thought back and been like, oh man, that was a big moment for me while I was in New England?
Yeah, obviously in 2019, I say 2018 in general was a huge learning curve for me because I had to figure out how to harness that passion and desire and keep my game from fluctuating so much, because in 2018 it really did fluctuate a lot. There was good times and great times, and then there was like, oh my God, what the heck is this kid doing times. So learning how to sort of be on my own and then level things out was huge for me, and then in 2019, sort of obviously when Kevin Hitchcock gets hired, for me, that was the moment that allowed me to find that consistency. We had routines every week, and that just helped build my confidence. And obviously, I had his total confidence. He really trusted me and believed in me and thought that I had a really high ceiling. And hearing the words come from his mouth, somebody who had played at a high level, coached at a high level, just instilled a really great confidence in me and allowed my performances to level out, be more consistent. And then I was obviously always pretty self-aware in where I needed to improve, and him and I worked tirelessly to improve a lot of those areas.
You mentioned too moments where you weren't positive whether this was all going to work out for you, and I know you've mentioned in other interviews that coming out of Fairfield, not having any real opportunities, having just a preseason trial with the Revs, you had lined up a job in the business world that would have been more lucrative than being the third string goalkeeper for an MLS team, but you trusted yourself, you took the leap. But when you think back to that time, and how close were we to all of this? I mean, gestures broadly, all of this, how close were we to it not happening?
Pretty close, pretty close. I had a conversation with one of my professors at Fairfield. Her name was Roz Luby. She had an amazing business background in finance where I was going to be working, and I just asked her advice on what she thought I should do. And she gave me the confidence, really. Her and then the assistant dean of the business school at the time, Dawn DeBias. She is actually a former Patriots cheerleader. Funny enough, now I'm married to a former Patriots cheerleader. But the two of them combined just gave me such confidence into taking that leap, because for me, you know, you get a job offer and those things don't come all the time. You know, it was a really great job. And, you know, to go into I'll call it not so glamorous time in my life where I'm living in a house with no air conditioning, you know, I'm not making a ton of money. On Saturday mornings, I'm not traveling with the team to cool cities and playing in games. I'm here getting my butt kicked by the academy coaches, you know, going through really tough sessions, and all my friends are at the beach and they're partying and they're doing their thing. And you know, it was challenging. You know, there's things that I valued at the time were my friends, were my relationships, and I had to sort of put those on the side and really think about what I wanted. And what I wanted was to get as good as I possibly could at soccer.
Well, you did a pretty good job at that, because now here we are 7 years later, wrapping up your time in New England, getting ready to go to Arsenal. You talk about like the emotion of saving that penalty against Colorado. Obviously, there's been lots of emotional moments here. You mentioned just coming back from injury this year, having that first appearance in front of the Revolution fans, and having an emotional reaction when they just cheered for you when your name was announced pregame. So is there any way to kind of emotionally prepare yourself for everything, all the whole roller coaster you're gonna feel on Sunday night?
No way. No way to prepare for it. I'm just looking forward to it, really. I'm looking forward to getting to England. I'm looking forward to seeing all the fans here, saying goodbye. That's going to be really special for me. My whole family will be here, which will be really, really nice. And yeah, it's just going to be, tears will be shed, whether it's here, whether it's later. You know, I'm moving on from a really, really important piece of who I am. And why I'm able to achieve dreams is because of New England. And there's no better place, really. You know, New England's the place where castaways come to rally their careers, and it doesn't matter what you did in the past, or, you know, good or bad. Well, all that matters is what you do here, and if you put your best foot forward and you show passion and you show that you care, the fans will, you know, rally around you and love you, and that's what I found, and that is what made me love the game again.
I know this is a goodbye in a way, but obviously you're a Revolution player forever. And I asked this to Adam Buxa when I talked to him the other day as he goes off to France. You've seen how these supporters have continued to support Tajon Buchanan while he's with Bruges. Like, no matter where you go for the rest of your career, you feel like there's a part of you that's kind of representing the Revolution on the world stage?
Absolutely, absolutely. I know that I'll always have a home here. I know that I will always have support here. And I look forward to that too. You know, I look forward to the Revolution fans that are going to follow Arsenal now and support me no matter what. And I look forward to having time off in the summertime and coming back, because the Revs will be in season. And I look forward to coming to Gillette, taking in some games, you know, continuing that relationship with the supporters groups, and that'll be great. And this is by no means a goodbye. It's obviously, I'm taking a step in my career right now, but you know, I look forward to the future that I have with the people of New England.
Yeah, you mentioned always having a home here, and I know you're a New Jersey guy. I would never take that away from you, but went to college in New England, obviously kind of largely built in New England as a man and as a professional. So, and you mentioned to your wife from New England, from Maine. So is there a part of you, every time you come back to New England, is this going to feel like home for you?
100%, yeah. We will always stop in New England. That'll be the first stop on the flight back from England for time off, or for holidays, or whenever we can get back. The first stop will be Logan Airport.
You mentioned too, this is just kind of such an interesting time, because it is an ending and it's a beginning. You're obviously ending a really important part of your career, beginning this brand new chapter, this really exciting new chapter. So how have you, if you even can, how have you tried to kind of compartmentalize all of that and pay the respects to the time here in New England and the 7 years you've spent here, while also knowing you've obviously got to be mentally ready for this new chapter, which has every opportunity of being the best chapter of all? Yeah,
it's been challenging, no lie. I think back in January when I was talking to my family about it, they were like, "Oh my God, you have a lot of stuff going on." And I was like, no, you know, it's gonna be fine. Yeah. And you know, when I'm actually going through it, obviously the injury was the worst of it all, you know, because now I had all this time to really, I mean, it was good because I got to process everything, but it was tough because I didn't get to, you know, be in front of the fans. I didn't get to play as many games as I would have liked this season. And obviously, as an organization, we were struggling in the beginning part of the year, not getting the results that we wanted to. And so when I came back, since I've been back, I think we're unbeaten, which is a good feeling. Obviously, some games where you wish you got 3 instead of 1, but it's a nice feeling to sort of see that moment and not only, I'm obviously not a captain, but feel like an emotional sort of like part and leader of this team. And I always said that, like, when I leave, I hope that the team is in a better spot than they're in right now, and I hope that the organization as a whole will be in a better position. And I hope to use what I learn over, in Europe to help better some of the players here and help better some of the coaches here that maybe I could give advice to.
Well, Matt, I can't thank you enough for the time today, for the time over the course of the past 7 years. You've been absolutely fantastic on the field. You've been fantastic for us as a digital staff to work with. So just endless appreciation for everything you've given for this club. I think I speak for everyone in the Revolution organization when I say that. Looking forward to following the rest of your journey, and you've got some fans for life, and we'll definitely be over to visit you.
Yeah, let me know. That sounds good. No, it's been great. Thank you for everything, from the bottom of my heart. That first interview, I still remember it really well. So what I say, cloud 9, where you got to come down and get ready to work every day. That's kind of the mentality going forward too, I guess.
Sounds good. Well, 2016, 2022, a lot's changed, but at the same time, nothing's changed. Thanks, Matt. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.